Hey everyone, ready to dive into a topic that's always kind of fascinated me. It's that whole older men, younger women thing.
Yeah.
We're going to take a deep dive today into some source material that's it's kind of aimed at guys,
Okay.
giving them advice.
Right.
But we're going way beyond that. We're going
Yeah.
to get into the psychology and the sociology and even the biology
Yeah. Yeah.
behind this whole dynamic.
It's a really interesting topic, that's for sure.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
So the first thing that kind of jumps out at me from this source is this big emphasis on confidence,
Yes.
but not in a cocky way.
Right.
More like a
Like
I don't.
self-assured.
Self-assuredness,
Yeah.
authenticity. Like you know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
You're comfortable with it.
Yeah. And it makes me think of that analogy of like a peacock with its tail feathers.
Oh,
Like it's a risky move, right? Like
Yeah.
attracts attention, could attract predators.
Right.
But it's also saying, hey, look how strong and healthy I am.
Yeah.
I can afford to take this risk. And it's kind of signaling that strength and resilience
Right.
and confidence in humans can signal a lot of those same things.
It's interesting because the source also gives all these examples, right? Like maintaining eye contact,
Mm-hmm.
handling those unexpected situations smoothly, that kind of thing. It's almost like it's suggesting that,
Yeah. It says, look, I've got the experience.
yeah,
I've got the emotional stability to handle whatever comes my way.
exactly.
Have you ever, seen someone handle something gracefully?
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, wow, they have it together.
Yeah.
That's attractive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so we got confidence. But the source doesn't stop there.
No.
It goes on to talk about emotional intelligence.
Yes.
And
Which, honestly,
that makes me think back to some not so emotionally intelligent dating experiences.
we've all been there.
Oh, yes.
But yes, emotional intelligence is very important. And it's not just about being emotionally stable.
Mhm.
It's also about being aware of your emotions, understanding other people's emotions.
And like how they interact.
Yeah, and how they all work together.
Yeah.
And I think that's a key ingredient in any healthy relationship,
It's so true.
whether there's an age gap or not.
Yeah. So the source gives examples of that too.
Okay.
Active listening,
Mm-hmm.
not getting all defensive during those disagreements,
Right.
really engaging with the other person's feelings.
Yeah. It's all about creating that safe space for connection.
Yeah.
Think about your own relationships.
Okay.
When someone makes you feel heard and understood,
Oh, for sure.
it builds trust,
Mm-hmm.
builds intimacy.
It does. It's like that feeling of, oh, this person really gets me.
Exactly.
And suddenly
It doesn't matter.
age just kind of fades away.
Exactly.
Okay, so then the source shifts gears a little bit
Okay.
and starts talking about rapport.
Okay.
Building rapport through humor and shared interests.
Mm-hmm.
Seems pretty straightforward, right?
Yeah, finding that common ground.
Yeah, but I think it's more than just liking the same movies.
It's definitely deeper than that.
Yeah.
From a social psychology perspective, rapport creates a sense of shared reality.
Okay.
It's like finding that click.
Yeah,
You feel like you're on the same wavelength,
exactly.
even if you have totally different experiences.
Yes, yes. So it's not just about agreeing on everything.
Right.
It's about feeling a sense of connection,
Connection, yeah.
understanding.
Understanding.
Okay, now I'm really starting to get this.
Yeah.
Because when you can laugh with someone,
Yeah.
genuinely engage with their passions, whatever those might be,
Mm-hmm.
it's like you're building a bridge between your two worlds.
Exactly.
And showing that you're curious, open-minded,
Yeah.
willing to connect on a deeper level.
I love that.
I've even had times where I've stepped outside my comfort zone,
Yeah.
tried something new,
Yeah.
because someone I was interested in was really into it,
Mm-hmm.
and I end up loving it.
Yeah. And it gives you this whole other shared experience to connect on.
Exactly. So then the source throws in this curveball. Leadership.
Interesting.
I know, right? But they're not talking about being bossy
No,
or controlling.
not at all.
It's more about taking initiative, being decisive.
Yeah, taking the lead.
Yeah. So they give that example of planning a date confidently.
Right.
Not just like, oh, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
But more like, hey, I've got this awesome idea. Let's go.
I love it. And there's actually a lot of psychological research that backs that up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, think back to the peacock.
Okay.
Taking the lead, making decisions, signals resourcefulness,
Yeah.
security.
Okay.
And historically, those qualities have been associated with, being able to provide, protect.
Right.
So it kind of taps into some deep-seated evolutionary preferences.
So it's not about being a caveman
Yeah.
dragging someone by the hair back to the cave.
No, not at all.
It's more like, hey, I found this awesome cave with a view. Let's go check it out.
Exactly.
Okay, now we can't talk about attraction without talking about,
The elephant in the room.
yeah, the physical stuff.
Okay.
The source actually has this whole section on presentation.
Right.
But not in a superficial way.
Yeah.
It's not about trying to look younger,
No.
trying to fit into some, like,
Ideal.
yeah, unrealistic ideal.
Yeah.
It's more about self-respect and authenticity.
And there's an evolutionary aspect to this as well.
Oh.
Think about it from, like, a biological perspective.
Okay.
Taking care of your physical appearance through good grooming, style, fitness,
Yeah.
it can signal health, vitality,
Okay.
which are inherently attractive qualities.
That's a good point.
It shows you value yourself,
Yeah.
you're investing in your well-being.
So it's less about chasing trends
Yeah,
and more about presenting the best version of yourself.
exactly. And that's where authenticity comes in.
Okay.
You don't have to conform to someone else's idea of what's attractive. It's about finding a style that reflects your personality,
Yeah.
makes you feel confident,
Right.
comfortable in your own skin.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Because trying to be someone you're not, it's exhausting.
totally.
It never really works in the long run.
It doesn't.
Okay, so we've got confidence, emotional intelligence, rapport,
Leadership.
leadership, presentation.
Yeah, we've covered a lot.
There's so much more to this,
There is.
but I think we're going to have to save that for the next part of our deep dive.
Yeah, let's do that. We're just getting started.
We are. This is fascinating.
I know, it's so much more than people think,
It's
right?
exactly.
So much more. Welcome back. So last time we were talking about all sorts of things like confidence, presentation, leadership.
So much.
There's a lot to unpack here, but I'm really excited to dive into these next few ideas with you.
Okay.
They're a bit unexpected, but I think that's what makes this deep dive so interesting.
Yeah, totally. Last time we left off, we were about to explore the power of storytelling and touch when it comes to attraction.
Yeah.
I gotta admit, I am a sucker for a good story.
Oh, me too.
So I'm really curious to hear what the source has to say about this.
Well, get ready for a little brain science.
Oh, okay.
Because the source actually explains how storytelling, it activates different areas of the brain,
Oh, wow.
increases engagement, emotional connection.
So it's not just entertainment.
No.
It's like a neurological workout or something.
Yeah, kinda.
But how does that tie back to attraction, though?
Well, think about it. When someone tells you a story that really captivates you,
Mm-hmm.
you're not just passively listening.
Yeah.
You're experiencing it through their eyes.
Right.
You're feeling their emotions, connecting with their memories.
Yep.
It gives you a glimpse into their values and their perspective on the world.
It's almost like, you know when you watch a movie
Yeah.
and you get so drawn into it?
Yeah. You forget you're watching a screen.
Yeah.
And that emotional resonance can create a powerful bond between people.
Okay, yeah. I'm starting to see this.
Yeah.
Because the source gives that example, right?
Yeah.
About, like, describing a trip to Italy.
Yes.
And it's not just, oh, I went to Italy.
Oh.
It's like describing the bustling streets.
Yes. The aroma of the pizza.
The pizza.
Yeah, that feeling of awe when you first see the Colosseum.
Yeah.
Suddenly you're transported there.
Exactly.
That's the magic of storytelling. It's not just about conveying information.
Yeah.
It's about evoking those emotions.
Yeah.
Creating that shared reality and forging a connection that goes way deeper than just the surface level.
I'm like rethinking how I tell stories now.
Right.
Like maybe I need to add some more details, spice things up a bit.
It's a skill, you know? Everyone has stories.
Yeah,
It's how you tell them that makes the difference.
that's so true. All right, so storytelling, powerful tool.
Yes.
But what about touch? Now that seems like a bit of a minefield, especially when there's an age gap.
For sure.
Like
But the source makes a good point about the importance of touch.
emphasizing respect, consent, starting small.
Okay, so we're not talking about like grand romantic gestures right away.
Oh, no.
More like dipping your toes in the water before you,
Yeah, jump.
jump in.
Exactly. So what kind of touch are we talking about? Think like a light, friendly touch.
Okay.
Like a pat on the back, a gentle touch on the arm during a conversation.
Yeah.
Just those small actions that establish a sense of comfort and connection
Right.
without being overly forward.
It's funny though, how something as simple as a touch on the arm can convey so much.
Right. It's like a silent way of saying, hey, I'm here with you. I'm listening.
Exactly. Like I care.
And there's a scientific reason for that. The source talks about how touch when it's appropriate, it can trigger the release of oxytocin.
Oxytocin, what is that?
It's often referred to as the bonding hormone.
Oh, wow. So cuddling is basically like a chemistry experiment.
In a way, yeah. Oxytocin promotes feelings of trust, connection, well-being. It's like the same hormone that's released.
Yeah, when you hug.
Yeah, hug, kiss.
Yes, exactly. But it can also be triggered through these much more subtle forms of touch.
So even those small gestures can actually lay the groundwork for a much deeper connection later.
Exactly. It's like planting a seed
Yeah.
that can grow into something more.
I like that.
But remember, always got to be mindful of the other person's boundaries.
Oh, for sure. Consent is key.
Absolutely.
An ongoing conversation.
Always, yeah.
Not a one-time thing.
Yeah, it's so important. But when it's done respectfully and with consent, touch can be incredibly powerful.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, now let's switch gears again to something that I think is super important when there's an age gap.
Okay.
Cultural awareness.
Yes. It's so important to understand that different generations,
Yeah,
they have different values, norms, ways of communicating.
it's true. What might be funny or charming to one generation might not be to another.
Toll.
Well, it's like that time I tried to impress someone
Yeah.
with my knowledge of like 80s music.
Oh,
Yeah, it did not go well.
I think we've all been there.
Yeah. But that just kind of highlights why this whole cultural awareness thing is so important, right?
Yes. It's about recognizing that you don't know everything.
Right.
Being open to learning,
Yeah.
approaching the relationship with curiosity rather than judgment.
So instead of trying to fit into someone else's world, you're trying to build a bridge between your two worlds.
Exactly.
Okay, I like that. Because the source gives this great example, right? Let's say someone brings up like a TV show or a social media trend
Yeah.
that you've never heard of
Yeah, it happens all the time.
all the time. Instead
Yeah.
of just dismissing it,
Yeah.
you take the time to actually learn about it.
Ask questions, yeah.
Ask questions, show that you're interested.
So genuine interest.
Yeah.
It shows that you're willing to step outside your comfort zone and engage with their world.
And you know what? I've discovered so many cool things
Oh, me too.
because people have introduced me to them.
Yes, it's like expanding your horizons, right? Exactly. It's amazing. This is making me realize how much goes into building real attraction.
It really is multifaceted.
Yeah, it's so much more than just the surface.
Way more. And speaking of things that are more than just the surface level,
Yeah.
we haven't even touched on one of the most crucial elements yet.
Oh, what's that?
Authenticity.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued. Tell me more about this authenticity thing. So, we're back, and we're talking authenticity. I'm really curious about this.
Yeah, it's a big one,
It is.
especially when you're talking about navigating an age gap.
Okay,
The source makes a really good point that, it's great to present your best self,
right.
but it shouldn't be at the expense of being genuine.
So it's not about trying to be someone you're not.
Exactly.
Trying to fit yourself into some mold of like what you think the other person wants.
Yeah, it's exhausting.
It is.
And you can't keep it up forever,
No.
It's not sustainable.
Right.
Think about it, you can only wear a mask for so long.
Yeah, it's like you just want to rip it off and breathe. Exactly. Authenticity is about letting that true self shine through
Yes.
quirks and all.
So how do you balance that with, wanting to make a good impression?
It is a balance for sure,
It is.
but I think the key is to focus on your authentic strengths
Okay.
rather than trying to be something you're not.
So instead of trying to be the life of the party, if you're more introverted,
Yeah.
maybe showcase your listening skills.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? Authenticity, it's magnetic.
It is.
It draws people in because it's genuine, it's relatable,
It's real.
it's human, and that transcends age,
Yeah.
background, all that superficial stuff.
We've covered so much in this deep dive.
We have.
It's amazing to see how it all fits together,
It's like a puzzle. Each piece adds to the bigger picture.
Yeah, and there's no one right way to do it.
No, that's the beauty of it.
Yeah. What works for one person?
Might not work for another.
Exactly. So what's like the one big takeaway?
Ooh, that's a good question.
What do you want our listeners to remember from all of this?
I would say this. Attraction is just the first step.
Okay.
Building a lasting relationship, a strong relationship, takes work.
It does.
It takes communication, shared values, a willingness to grow together.
Yeah, it's not a destination.
No, it's definitely a journey.
It's a journey. There's going to be bumps in the road.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
going to be amazing moments.
Highs and lows.
Yeah. But it's those shared experiences that make it all worthwhile.
Absolutely. Age is just one piece of the puzzle.
That's so true.
Real connection, it goes beyond all the surface stuff. It's about shared values, respect, a genuine desire to build a life together.
That's beautiful. So, to everyone listening out there,
Yes.
embrace who you are.
Be yourself.
Be kind to yourselves and each other.
Always.
And be open to all the amazing possibilities out there.
That's what it's all about. Happy exploring, everyone.